Hi, good day, students. Welcome to another day of meaningful learning and discussion. Today, we will be discussing Module 21 Creating a Positive School Culture. And at the end of this lesson, you should be able to explore the ways on how to create a positive school culture, discuss how positive school culture affects the teaching learning process, and illustrate the impact of positive school culture in enhancing making lives of others better, or MLOB, ideas of empathy and social consciousness. Again, our topic is about creating a positive school culture, but since we also need to discuss the ideas of empathy and social consciousness, let us start with empathy. Empathy is the ability to sense other people's emotions with the ability to imagine what someone else might be thinking or feeling. It means trying to see things from someone else's perspective and recognizing what they might be going through. When a person shows empathy, they listen, care, and respond in a kind and supportive way. I know you are also familiar with this putting yourself in someone else's shoes. It is about empathy, right? It means you need to make an effort to imagine how you would feel or act if you were in the same situation as a particular person. You should be kinder when considering others and put yourself in their shoes once in a while. Let's have our first example. Okay, so let us say a student notices that his classmate is sad because of a heartbreak. He asked how his friend was doing and tried to feel what he felt. He spent time with him and shared kind words to make him feel supported. Let's have another example. Let's say a friend listened when someone talked about problems in their family. He tried to understand how the person feels, asked questions to know more, and imagined being in his situation. He offered advice or help if needed, showing he cares about his feelings. And lastly, he noticed that his friend was crying. He went next to him, asked what had happened, and tried to understand why he felt sad. He gave kind words and gestures to make him feel cared for. So, those are examples of empathy. But please remember that empathy is different from sympathy. When we say sympathy, it is when you feel sorry for someone because they are having a hard time. For example, if your friend failed an exam and you say, I'm sorry that happened to you. That is an example of sympathy. But when it comes to empathy, it is when you try to understand and feel what the other person is feeling as if you are in their situation. Once again, for example, your friend failed an exam and you say, I know how stressful that feels. I've felt that way before. Okay, so let us proceed to social consciousness. It is the awareness and understanding an individual has of their place in society, including their relationship with others and the broader social structures that influence their lives. It means knowing how you fit into your community and understanding how your actions affect others. Some examples of social consciousness are environmental stewardship, community engagement and volunteering, and supporting social movements. Social consciousness is not just about people, it includes caring for your surroundings and making choices that help the larger community. Environmental stewardship is a part of social consciousness, and here's an example. A group of friends are working together to build and maintain a local community garden. Their shared effort demonstrates that social consciousness is rooted in the collective responsibility to look out for the environment. And by collaborating on sustainable projects, they prove that friendship can be a powerful catalyst for positive civic action. Another example, these friends are demonstrating their social consciousness by collaborating on community reforestation project. Environmental stewardship is way more rewarding when you're doing it right with your friends. And by planting trees together, they are proving that looking after the planet is the ultimate group goal for a better future. Let's have a review on what a school culture is all about. School culture is the underlying set of norms, values, beliefs, traditions, ceremonies, and unwritten rules that guide behavior and thinking in a school. Now let us identify a toxic school culture. Toxic school culture is when a school has negative habits, attitudes, or behaviors that harm the students and staff. How is it built? It evolves over time as educators deal with problems, staff changes, successes, and failures. And sometimes school culture develops dysfunctional values and beliefs, negative traditions, and harmful ways of interacting. This is according to Deal and Peterson in 1998. Toxic school culture lack a mission and vision, value laziness and apathy, promote separateness and inclusivity, and have negative peer relationships. By the way, class, apathy is the lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern. And because of the toxic school culture, it makes students and staff feel unsupported and stressed. They often discourage teamwork, respect, and open communication, which harms the entirety or which harms the learning and personal growth of everyone. According to Peterson in 2002, schools with a negative or toxic culture, number 1, lack a clear sense of purpose. Number 2, have norms that reinforce inertia. Number 3, blame students for lack of progress. Number 4, discourage collaboration. Number 5, often have actively hostile relations among staff. And in a toxic school culture, staff, both the teaching and non-teaching, view students as the problem rather than valued clients, belong to negative subcultures that are hostile and critical of change, believe they are doing their best and do not seek new ideas, share negative, discouraging, and demoralizing stories about the school, complain, criticize, and distrust new ideas or suggestions for improvement, and rarely share ideas, materials, or classroom solutions. Therefore, toxic school cultures create an environment where staff feel unsafe sharing ideas. Planning sessions often lack energy because of negativity. New staff with fresh perspectives are quickly influenced by these negative norms. Programs or initiatives struggle due to low commitment. Many improvement efforts fail simply because there is little will or motivation to change, and toxic schools are hard places to work, needing strong leadership to improve. How do schools deal with toxicity in their culture? Deal and Peterson in 1999 suggest educators can confront negativity and redirect negative energy, protect emerging positive efforts, recruit positive constructive staff, celebrate improvements and successes, support improvement efforts with time, energy, and resources, and reconnect staff to the school's mission for student growth. Now, let us focus on creating a positive school culture. Deal in 1985 identified eight. How many? Eight. Eight attributes of effective schools with strong cultures. First, shared values and agreement on how things get done. Second, principal embodies core values as a hero or heroine. Who is the hero or heroine? The principal. What do they embody? Core values. Third, distinctive rituals reflecting shared beliefs. Four, staff recognized as situational heroes or heroine. Again, who are the situational hero or heroine? Let us emphasize the word situational. Is it the principal? Is it the students? Specifically, the situational hero or heroine is the staff or the staff members. Fifth, rituals for acculturation and cultural renewal. 6. Rituals celebrating and reinforcing core values. 7th, balance between innovation and tradition, autonomy and control. And lastly, 8th, widespread participation in cultural rituals. Okay, class, if you were to decide, would you prefer to be in a school with a toxic school culture or a positive school culture? Of course, we all want what's best for ourselves. So you as students, future educators or professionals in whatever field you choose, let us focus on the present. You can make a difference by contributing to maintaining and continuing a positive school culture here at FINMA COC. Thank you so much. Bye bye.